Yeah, hi Abhishek. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, shall we start? Yeah, okay. So last day we saw like the basic overview, like fuse, camel, how it behaves, right? Now in fuse, like we have OCI containers, OCI based bundle deployment. Like whatever you do, bundle deployment installation in into fuse, that is happening using OCI only. So OCI only helps you to wire all the dependency. Okay, so mainly one Felix dependency are there, which helps you to to whatever the related classes you need from what version you want, it will provide you. Like let's say one class, generally one class you can have only, you can get only one class, right? A dot class. But if you want from many versions, you want the same class actually, different class, A dot class. Okay, so by defining the version, you can have the same class multiple times in OSI. Okay, so A dot class, maybe in one application, another application, class name is same, but you can deploy the same class with the help of version actually using A OSI. Yeah, yes, yes. Yeah. No need to restart. No need to restart. Automatically it will take at the runtime. Yeah. So generally for this, what we used, yeah, tell me. Mhm. For development, it's free only. For production, it's a chargeable license deal. I think 1 lakh dollar more than, I think 1 lakh around dollar. Yeah. Yeah. So like you can create either jar, like if you are using any Spring based application, you can create it as a jar, or any Spring any like fuse based application you are creating, so you can define it as a bundle also. Okay, so bundle is just a jar file with metadata in its OGI manifest file. It contains classes, okay, like whatever classes you create, okay, and all the related dependency, the third party dependency also in the manifest file it will have actually. Okay, yeah, I will execute one. Yeah, I will execute one and show you. In what happened, like in Fuse, like you have created some, you have some jar actually. For example, third party jar, which is not a bundle. Okay, you can create your own bundle, but some jars you download through internet, like common logging, for example. So those are jars only. You cannot deploy as a bundle it, right? It's a jar only. So if you want to deploy it, so you can use wrap colon mvn colon group ID, artifact ID, slash person, like this we can do. So using wrap, I've said, okay, is it, oh, sorry, okay. Able to see PPT, you are able to see? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I was showing this one. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So in pom.xml, you can define bundle as a packaging like this. If you want jar, you can define, here it is jar actually. Okay, yeah. So like if you have any jar file, you can convert it into a bundle also using wrap command. So the only thing they wrap is the keyword wrap colon and the rest thing are same. MVN colon group ID slash artifact ID slash version. Okay, and if it is bundle, then no need of wrap actually. So class loading I explained actually. Okay, so generally in OSI, what we do like is a it's a graph based class loading actually, not the tree based. Like in our JVM in core Java applications, it's a tree based loading. But here it's a graph based loading actually. It's not like the class path only. Okay, like you have to, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that's okay. Generally, in simple Java programming, like you have some class loader, right? So using that, it load the class in your JVM actually. Okay. So here it has their own, every bundle has their own class path actually. Okay. So according to that, it will load actually the classes. Okay. That's it. That's it. Yeah. And if you want to share the classes across the bundle, so you have the OSI import and OSI export thing. So you can export the classes in from one bundle and use it into another bundle as an import. So this is just to start the fuse, like a start.py and window in Linux like this. And if you want to connect the client, so you can run the client thing like this, fuse space client. It will connect to the client console. This I've already explained like security like Jazz for admin related like you want console, you want to see the Fuse console, you have to enable the login actually in Jazz configuration file. So there you have admin uh, slash is equal to admin, like username is admin, password is admin, and the role is admin. Like this you can enable actually. To create any this is for blueprint example. You can create like this by defining group ID, artifact ID, and version. This is the Fuse BOM version on which Fuse version you want to create this project. Okay, yeah. So this archetype version is something like this will take all the parent pump from this. Like in a Spring Boot starter, we defined right parent. So it's take from the Spring Boot version, right? So if you are creating Fuse based project, then it will take from this version. The whole deployment I have already told, like you can directly copy the jars in your deploy folder. It will deploy it actually. You know? So in Fuse Home Directory, you have one deploy folder. So there you can copy your jar. So it will get deployed actually. And using like manually also you can use OSI command. Okay, but it should be a bundle or jar. If your jar, then wrap colon, and otherwise bundle colon install. You can use MVN colon group ID artifact ID. Okay. Yeah. Yes. 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 So now I'm coming to the our main thing. Like we'll run one example, and before that we need to aware in camel how to write the program actually. Okay, so in camel what we have here we mainly we use it for integration, right? So what camel provides you, it's giving you some design pattern like integration design pattern. Okay, using which okay you can do some integration. Let's say you want to transfer some file from one FTP server. Okay, so camel gives you some component like FTP component or endpoint over the HTTP endpoint. So you can either send the message over the component or over the endpoint actually. And how to write these logics actually. So using some integration pattern, like let's say you have some CSV data, for example, and based on location you want to redirect your input to the corresponding system. Okay, so it's a content based routing, you can say. So it will route your message based on the content. So if location is Bangalore, then redirect this message to the to this system. Okay, if customer type is this corporate, then redirect to this system or redirect to this endpoint, like this. So that is called content based routing actually. So all this routing thing, okay, before routing you need to do process also. Okay, so for any message like exchange object you have, you need to first process it. Process is something nothing but setting the body message, setting the header property, etc. Okay, you can write your business own business logic also. Some implementation also you can write in the process. And process is something default implementation. When if you don't write, it will be there, but you can override the using processor class actually. And then you can redirect it using routing endpoint. You can redirect it actually. So writing this processor can be developed using some DSL. Like you can use Java DSL, okay, Spring DSL you can use, Camel Blueprint you can use, okay, Scala you can use, okay. So here we will mainly use Java DSL. I can show one example for each, maybe Blueprint and Spring XML. But Java DSL is now popular and Blueprint is popular. These two things are popular actually. So any one of you can adopt actually. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's a little easy, and easy to understand, easy to manage also. So let's say you are consuming one message, okay. Like for one message, like in only message exchange pattern, one way message, okay, and in out is something request response. If you define in out, it means you will have the request and response both communication. And if you define the message type as a in only, it will have only incoming request only. Uh, Message access pattern, like what kind of message, like whether it is in or and out, whether it is in and out. That the two type of MEP, in and out, right? Either it can be in or either it can be in out. And like whenever message you have, each message will have some ID also. Okay, so I have explained like in the message object will have the message ID, exchange ID. It will have the exception block. Okay, it will have say header. It will have properties. It will have attachment. All these things it will have. So like patterns are mainly these type of patterns, like system based. You can have channels based. You can construction based, routing based. You can define transformation based. You can define, and the endpoint also. Okay, and system management also. So these are patterns for messaging actually. So so messaging system, like it can be uh, mm, div- yeah, messaging systems like ActiveMQ, RabbitMQ. Those the channels is something whether it is JMS or HTTP. Okay, construction, how you construct transformation, you can assume kind of transformation. Okay, the routing from one endpoint to the another, how you want to redirect. Okay, transformation again the same, like CSV to JSON or JSON to XML. Endpoints, HTTP endpoints, microservice, like you can send over the endpoints. Okay, or FTP endpoint. System management, like any system you want to monitor something. Okay, so for that you can create some endpoint. for system management. Let's say metrics or something. Those can be actuated. Yeah, yeah. Not only that, other thing also, the load thing also it comes in this. Okay. Or circuit breaker, those type of systems, or CPU. We want to check CPU, the same metrics thing. It can be here. Okay. This is one. So I will start with one component, basic component. I will come with the EIP also again. So yeah, this is one of component stream actually. Okay, so like we do in simple Java, system dot in, system dot out, right? So the same way it behaves here in camel. If you want to print something, okay, you can use a stream actually. Okay, okay. So using a stream you can do. So let's example. Okay, so you can use as per your convenience the tools, what you like. Other if you are Red Hat guy, like many Red Hat person go for code ready. Previously it was, yeah, previously yeah, you can download it, or any Spring STS also you can use any Eclipse tools you can use. So this is my first application, like camel example I'm explaining. So you will have pom.xml, right? So it's a Maven based project. So definitely you will have project group ID, artifact ID you will have. So group ID is something like with your package name you can say assume first parent package like sample.camel you give here, and artifact you can give as a project name, your folder name you can give. Okay, and the version you can define a snapshot or simple version you define here. Property is something you want to use across this pump or initialized at the start, so you can define here like I have defined uh, this encoding thing. Okay, source encoding and output encoding. Now it's a standard UTF-8. Even if you are not defining, it's by default. In some project, it will ask for 16 also. Okay, nowadays, since Java has version has improved, right? So encoding has more nowadays actually. Uh, okay. Now B1 version is something. It's your parent from which fuse you want to do build actually. In fuse, what happen? What is the drawback? I feel like for each fuse you have to change the versioning actually here. From that fuse form you have to download everything actually. Okay, okay. Like in a Spring Boot, some at least some even if you are using older version of Spring Boot, it will work like this or something like that. But here it's a very dependent work actually. If your version is not correct, it won't work actually. So from this, so you have to download 7.10.fuse. Okay, like this, you should have. Okay. But definitely, if you are created some project in lower fuse, it will work in a higher fuse version also. Okay, yeah. But sometime it may, but sometime may it give you error actually. Like class is not getting auto wired or something. And now in this, this is the BOM version for this. Type is POM and this is import. Like from this, everything will be built actually. From this POM, everything will be built. Okay. So whatever you are downloading below, so this will refer this your parent POM, this one, and it will download all the corresponding dependency as per the fuse. Okay. Yeah. So so as it's a Spring based Spring Boot application, right? So I have used a starter here. You can see. So your dependencies should start with camel hyphen Spring hyphen boot hyphen starter like this. So any changes related to camel, try to include this dependency. Okay. So like actuator. Okay. So Spring Boot starter actuator. Camel HTTP starter. Camel solid starter. Jackson starter. like this you can include for test camel test. So I've done include. Yeah, tell me. Mhm. Im- yeah, so I'm importing the poem from this, and it will be stored into your repository. You know repository in .m2 folder, right? Okay, so it will be downloaded as a pom.xml, not as a jar. These are what? These are jar only, right? The below dependency are jars. So, but I have defined as a pom. Why I have defined as a pom? Because pom already have all the jars pom. It's linked to the another pom actually. Yeah. Let's say you don't want to define jar, you want to define pom. You can do that one also. So if you define it as a poem here, it will go and download the poem.xml only. And poem.xml will have your jar details from where it is to download. And all the poem dependency, everything it will have. Okay. The type poem we have defined here because we don't know what are the jars it contains. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. So we just define poem and import it. Whatever contains in this, it will download each and everything, all the dependent. Okay, yeah. So build a plugin. You can see I have defined Felix. Okay, in like if you want to create bundle, then you must have this one, the Felix thing. Okay, the and within build plugins it should be there, and these are something like what were the classes you want to use, you want to import from someone. So it has to be export in some other bundles. And we have only one bundle right now, right? You have two bundles. So in bundle you may expose your class like com.demo for example. So that class you can expose, and here in import in another application you can import it com.demo. Okay. So this is like if you want to build using Maven, you can use this. And if you want to build using Spring Boot Maven, you can use this. Any one of you can have. Okay. And Surefire is something to create your report. I think report here. Report. And these are repository from Red Hat, which you can use in your pom.xml. Okay, so it will always check these repositories to download the jars. Okay. So after pom.xml, like you can create your own readme. You can include some contents here. Okay, and write your what your project does actually, and then you will have src main resources. This is a main thing for any Spring Boot application, where you can define your key and value for that application. Let's say I am defining the application name, say my camel, and some variable I have initialized greetings. Okay, time period. Okay, and this is for metrics. So these are the standard Spring properties for any actuator endpoint. So you can what are the things you want to expose for your REST endpoint, for example. So is it info or health or camel routes? What are the things you want to include? So you can define as a comma separated here. Okay, yeah. Health so details always. Okay, you can see camel information. So camel routes you want to see in management endpoint, you can enable it. Set read only, and the logging thing also you can define like this. So logger we have not enabled right now. See, okay. And for any main code, you will have src main Java. Here you have to write your all business logic in this src main Java. You create one package, and in this you write. And SRC test Java is for to write the test cases actually, to test cases. Okay. Yeah. So in my application, like I have created one bean class. Okay. So this bean class in a Spring you can define as with the help of @component. I have defined the name also. Okay. Okay. And this is the placeholder like dollar greeting. I'm reading dollar greeting at the rate value dollar greeting. Nesting say, returning say. So dollar greeting will come from application dot properties. So you can see here greeting is hello world. Okay. Now this bean is available in your Spring context actually. Okay. In your Spring context, this bean is there. So whenever you start your application, it will create one Spring context, right? It's a Spring based project, right? So it will have the Spring context, and within from a Spring context, every route will be get loaded actually. Okay. So to run the program, this is the main method in our Spring Boot applications. Okay, and you can run this method. And the camel route, we have created one camel route to define the route actually. To define any route in a camel applications, we have to extend route builder class. Okay, and override the configure method. Okay, so default is throws the exception. We can catch it in this block. So now to write any route, we need to start from keyword, from which endpoint or component you want to consume the message. So this is something your component or endpoint from where you want to consume your message. Okay, so root start is from, and this is your component or endpoint. So right now I am using timer component. Okay, timer. So timer is something it will start automatically based on periodic time, which I have defined in application.properties. And I am accessing is using placeholder double curly braces. So in like the benefit this Spring application, like or in camel application, you can that placeholder will be directly you can easily access. Okay, like so using curly braces we accessed it, and the time, yeah, double curly, and timer name is hello, period is this. So this is the component. This is the your your variable. Okay, variable, and this is your options after question mark whatever you see, URI, you can say URI, this one hello is URI, and this is the options question mark options. And if you want to specify multiple option, you can use AND operator, and you can define whatever the timer component accepts. So how to know, okay, what are the things we can pass. Okay, we have official document like in camel. Okay, you can go and so camel apache.org we have, right. So here in this you can see when timer came from since which version. Okay, this is only supporting consumer. Okay, you cannot produce the message from this. It means like message will be coming to this, but you cannot send the message over this endpoint. You got it. Consumer is supported. It means consumer is in from. When producer we write in to. So in to you cannot write, you can only write in from. So that is why it's written, it support only consumer. And definitely timer is something we start, right? You can think in that way also. You can think. So for every two there will be a from only, right? For from. Okay. So it's a, yeah. So only consumer is supported. Okay. So what is URI timer colon name and question mark options? The in body of the general generative sense. So these are the options: bridge error handler, auto wide enabled. This is the timer. This is the timer name. Okay, that is okay. So delay, you can specify delay also. Fixed date, period we have defined already. Repeat count, how many times you want to start the timer, number of fire actually. So this timer will be keep on executing every this period, every time period, and you can define more options with the delay or number of fire like this. Okay, so those are the options actually. You can refer to this. So yeah, and root ID, like this is optional. Like if even if you are not defining root ID, it will assign by itself actually. Some integer value it will assign, and like okay, this is my root, and I want to define with some unique, some meaningful value like hello hyphen ID, or hello. You can write like this: hello hyphen root ID. So whenever you deploy something, you see in logs this, right? You will get to know, okay, this is the root got started uh, from this timer. So by seeing only you can identify easily. So it's good to write the root ID for each route actually. Okay, yeah. Then message is coming to this. Okay. And the root group is something like the part of one, mm, like part of two, three root can be part of one root group actually. So we are grouping, that's it. Okay. So message is coming to this endpoint, then transform it. Transform is also something like it's automatically get transfer until unless you define any transformation type actually. Okay. So transform, then call the method, because here we are calling method. We are transforming using method actually. We are transforming this incoming message using method. And what is the method name? It's my bin class. It's from my bin. I'm calling this class, and this method from this class. So say something is there over there. Say something. Okay. So this will call this method from this class, and it will then your message will change after this. Okay, after this transformation your message got changed. And what is the message, what it will contains in the body? So message when get changed, so it always gets set into body, right, by default, in dollar body objects. You are consuming something from here, so your body was some, what was the body? It was null initially, right? Your timer got started. For this exchange it was null, there was no message here. Okay, now you transform the, you are consuming, getting or populating the message, okay, in between, using my bin. So your body got changed to the say something which has foo message, which is initialized as a foo, say something, greetings hello world, right? So what is greeting say, okay, greeting hello world. So say will have hello world. So say something will have hello world. Okay, so now I this transformation is done, right? So you can see your body is hello world now. Now what we want to do with the body message? It can be XML, CSV, JSON, or simple string object like hello world here. So you can filter it. There is a design pattern called filter also. Okay, it's a part of integration like filter. So I'm filtering it based on content. So simple is the expression language. Okay, using this expression, I'm manipulating dollar body. You can access the body object using dollar also, dollar curly braces. Okay, or either you can get it from exchange object itself. Exchange dot get input dot get body, like this. You can also access. Okay, and this is using expression language also. You can access it. Okay, so when you write expression, you have to use simple. Using simple, you have to use. So I'm checking whether it contains foo. If it contains foo, then send to this endpoint. Otherwise, end it here, like this thread will be end here, and then to string colon out. Otherwise, to this out to the stream actually. Send to the stream. It's a just logger. I'm here using a logger component, log colon foo. Uh, this is the component name actually. It can be anything, any variable. Main is the component. After this, you can give anything. So on this variable of this component, it will send the message on this variable. Okay. Like ending of this. You can include and is something, even if you don't include, it will get end automatically. For this is the thread end, right? So the end is only denotes, okay, this is the ending of this. Okay, this is the ending. Okay. So see, transformation is something to transform your message using processor. Okay. So the so after transform, you have several methods here. Okay. You can transform using bin, or directly you call bin instead of transform. Okay. You can call body attachment. All are from processor. So it's already internally this method something. It's already yeah. See, yeah. Okay, yeah. So like in every transformation, you will have one process. Okay. When you get your message, the processor will be here only. So okay, during processor session, I will show you how to write a processor. So here you can have like your anonymous class you will have here actually. Okay. Something like that you will have here. Okay. Which we will see later actually. Okay. So for every transformation, you have processor inbuilt here. Even if you are not written here, so processor is here actually, and that processor is setting the body message for you and sending across, and you are sending to the next endpoint. So like for this, if I run this application, what it will do? Yeah. See, hello world, like this. Okay, yeah, this is the one. Now, so you got to your dependency here in your totem to repository, and the jars are in target folder. Start your cutoff. Yeah, yeah, from red. Yeah, you can download it. So list, see for what are the bundles are installed. Right now this one, uninstalling this 250. To uninstall, you can use uninstall command. So now again, if you do list grep camel, you won't see that one. So that got removed actually. So okay, okay. So when you write like this, it will just install the applications. Okay. Now you need to start the bundle using this command. Start. So it's active. Okay. So your root got started. Like you can refer your. This one fuse cutoff log you have data log. So you should be able to see the hello world here. We should come here. Let me restart the graph once. Oh, it's a system console. So we need to include here logger print. Okay. I think that could be the reason due to stream dot it's not coming. Okay, so it's giving unable to wire this Spring Boot. Okay, so this class is not this is not getting this class actually, this bundle. The Spring Boot class it's not getting. Okay. So what I think the camel has one Spring Boot. These are the standard feature actually, which you should have installed. I think. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure what it is. Check. But I have included in contents. So, okay. Okay. It's not finding. Oh, this was working. Okay, try something. This should work actually. It's not giving data. Like I have been using in Fuse 6.2 and all used to work actually. Now Fuse has done so many changes actually with the Fuse 7. So we need to see what exact version we need to use. Okay, some versioning issue maybe. So this one is showing version here now. So here we were not seeing version. So I think it's installed. Syntax error. From the library itself, syntax error is coming. Yeah, but it's working. This is installed actually. Um, this is installed. This is something different actually. So yeah, we can see it over here. We can see. Yeah, okay. I will send it you. Yeah, no. This is the folder structure we need to see. We need to send some input to see the. So that we need to see. I'll make it correct and share with you. Okay, no? Yeah. Yeah, but this will work actually. This is a working example. Okay. Okay, fine then. We'll connect tomorrow again. Yeah. Yeah, same today. Yeah. It was it said different to you? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. I joined the yesterday meeting link and yeah. Not okay. 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 Yeah, you can send me in message. You can message me. Yeah, you can send me in chat. Yeah. It's a Google Meet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I will forward you the things. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.